Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is week 16. It is the semifinals of the Fantasy Football 2024 playoffs. And yes, it's Tuesday, and it is the Waiver Wire show. I am your Shepard, and I'm joined by, of course, the one, the only Commissioner himself, Commissioner Rhino. How are you?
I
Good,
am I'm
good
doing
gentlemen.
good. Doing good. Ready, kind of ready for this weekend. I got five. Well, I say six. So one of the league is the guillotine league. I'm still in. But still six playoffs going on.
Six playoffs.
Six playoffs, dude.
Six playoffs. I like those chances.
Yeah.
I like those odds.
So I'm. It's gonna be a nice weekend.
Um,
Maybe I might be crying in my pillow Sunday night.
well, I don't know if I doubt you'll be crying, but
Nah.
yeah. Look, I thought I was only going to send one, two. I thought I was going to send three teams into the semifinals this week, but and of course I lost a couple. I definitely lost a couple, but let me just show you, which of course you don't need to really see because you've lived it. Let me show you. Let me show the Emiliano goat. How are you? I do see you, goat. We will get to that question as soon as I show you exactly what it's like to play fantasy football. And of course, we all know this. We do.
Yeah.
It's a game of what is it? Is it a game of inches on the field?
Yeah.
It's a
Yep.
it's a game of inches on the field. Well, it's a game of decimals over here.
Oh, that's right. You and
Look at that.
that was a rough. That was because is
Look at
that because Koo missed that field goal?
Well, no, I won.
Oh, you won.
I
Oh, you
won.
did win.
Take a look at the soldier to the
Oh,
left.
damn.
I won, and Koo missed that field goal, or it would have been I would have won by 3.12 as opposed to winning by point 20.
Good lord.
Yeah,
I
nevertheless, it's a
I saw that
game.
last time, but I wasn't. I thought it was opposite way. That's nice.
Yeah, no, we etched that one out. And again, so I thought I was going to send only three. One is a guillotine. The other one happens to be the Warrior Bowl. A Another type of no, wait a minute. Warrior Bowl, the guillotine, this one, three. Oh, okay. And in the invitational, I'm gonna play that one out. I'm gonna play, although it's a tournament, and I'm not playing for the actual quote unquote prizes like you are. I'm gonna play that one out to see if I can win the league. Mr. Bakes, Goat, what are you baking for us tonight, Goat? Emiliano wants to know about the Falcons or Indy defense. I mean,
I
the
like the
Falcons.
Colts. I like Indy's defense.
I like. Well, I kind of like the Falcons defense.
Yeah.
I don't like the Falcons defense playing the Giants. That Giants team is in a whole
Yeah.
world of hurt.
True.
That quarterback Boyle. I mean, he may have thrown a nice little pass to Malik Neighbors, but this isn't someone that's going to um, really throw the ball around the yard and complete passes and throw touchdowns. Not at all. So this is a fourth string quarterback.
Yeah,
This
but
team,
like I think probably maybe I say the Colts because they're playing the Titans.
yeah,
Mason Rudolph is there,
they are,
and
they are,
the Titans O line sucks ass. They're horrible.
so like, but
So you can't go wrong with either one probably. I go back and look at how they've averaged out against teams that have backup quarterbacks, maybe. But it, there's credence for both. There's credences for both defense to pick one or the other.
sure.
With the Falcons, if they stop the run and force a pass, then we know it's going to happen. Mason Rudolph, I know he can pass, but the O line,
Who's he passing to?
Ridley,
Calvin. Calvin. So that
hopefully,
you bring up an interesting point because Tajay Spears is coming in as one of our
Yeah.
must-add top 5 must-add waiver players for this week 16. Now we say it's a must-add. I'm not necessarily sure it's um 100% all in. Go grab one of these players or you're doomed. I'm not really
No.
suggesting that, but what I am suggesting is that it's absolutely the cupboard is bared, and on top of it, if you're still playing right now in week
Yeah.
16, that means that there are 8 teams more or less that aren't.
Yeah.
So these players that are available, you might as well just scoop them up, add them. Not suggesting that you start them. Tajay Spears comes in for this week, for the simple fact of Tony Pollard not, perhaps not going to play. There's really no reason for him to play. I'm sure that they want to give Tajay Spears more work, and Tajay Spears, again, if he's playing against a bad O line, and if the Titans happen to be down in this ball game, we know that he's a competent pass catcher, Tajay Spears.
I mean, if you look what Cincinnati Bengals defense did with Tennessee last week. Granted, a lot of that was Levis, but still, and let me say Tajay Spears too. If you're in a PPR or half PPR league, then I would pick him up because he is garnering a lot. He's garnering the receptions more than the runs. They're using him as pretty much a third down back right now, and the healthier he's gotten, the more touches he's gotten too. So that's a good pickup.
And right now, I think he's probably healthier.
Yeah,
I
he's way healthier than Pollard.
I think he's healthier.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tajay Spears is exactly 100% healthy. I don't know. He played and ran well, or at least he ran in the open field well. He had an open field, changed direction, ran across the field for the love of God. You don't normally see players going that much right to left
No.
on our screen. Nevertheless, he just saw open grass and he took advantage of it. Now, again, if Tony Pollard doesn't play, this is a decent player to roster.
Very much so.
Roster, what's up, B Growing Goat? How are you? I'm very glad that you guys are here. Appreciate you very much for being here.
Yes.
Basically for being with us all season. And if you're here with us all season, or if you're here with us right now, you played like a goat all year long. Kudos to you. I want to congratulate you guys, even though you didn't win the actual trophy yet. In my mind, it's worth a congratulations for making it this far. There's a lot of teams don't ever get to this spot.
No, they don't. Nope.
I heard something funny earlier. We could talk about it off air. I heard, oh yeah, there's my relative down there. Yeah, he knocked me out a few weeks ago. I heard this conversation. Knocked me out of the playoffs a few weeks ago. That means if it was a few weeks ago,
yeah, you're never in.
He knocked you out. You were never in it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
You were never in it. You were 4-9.
Yeah.
You know who we're talking about. Be growing. Buff D or the Colts D.
Buffalo's playing New England. See, I'd take Colts D over Buffalo's D.
I know the Buffalo just gave up a ton of points, but they also
there's 2 games where I think those are outliers. They have to be.
They gave up a ton of points to one of the best offenses, right?
Yep, and 2, you had Stafford and then Goff back to back.
So I kind of
you had Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and Williams and Amon St. Brown.
So with those last 2 tough matchups, now you're home again. You've got the Patriots coming to Buffalo. Who knows?
Injured Bourne and Pop Douglas and Hunter Henry.
Who knows what the hell the weather's going to be like? I kind of want to side with the team that's 11-3.
I'm talking myself in the Buffalo now, talking it out. Yeah.
I kind of want to side with the team that is just like the better team with the defensive head coach in a stadium that could possibly have elements.
Yeah.
Versus, yeah, we know there's no real offense in Tennessee except for perhaps Tajay, maybe Mason Rudolph finds Calvin, maybe.
But he did when Mason was playing earlier season. He did play pretty good, but he did make mistakes too. So
This is a
Buffalo,
dude.
I think Buffalo has a better chance of maybe holding New England to 10 points.
This is a
or
dude.
less.
This is a dude in Mason Rudolph, by the way. That is just like a good backup quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, he may again, yeah, he may get to around 200. He may throw one or two touchdowns, and that might be against the Colts. No, we're gonna go with Buffalo there, B. And would you play Scary Terry over Kamara? Maybe playing Monday.
I'm
We
playing
don't
Terry
know.
because of Kamara being hurt. Yeah. And plus, you go back and look and see what he did against the Eagles 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. You can kind of see where he was at because he had a pretty decent game. And now they're playing. Washington's playing in Washington, not playing in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so asking Scary Terry over Alvin Kamara leads us to one of our next top 5, 1 out of 5 ads for Week 16 in the fantasy football playoffs. And that would be Kendre Miller. Now, look, folks,
Yeah.
we've been kind of like, knocking on the Kendre Miller door for a couple of weeks now. Should something happen to Alvin Kamara, you're going to want this handcuff. Well, guess what? Something happened to Alvin Kamara. Now, it's not that serious, and I think B. Goat is kind of alluding to it early now, still Tuesday, early in the week, that we don't know his status.
Groin abductor or something like that?
Look, it's a groin.
Whatever that is.
In Week 16, the way this team is playing, I don't think there's any real urgency to get him onto the field. I really don't. But Kendre Miller now, they may want to have him start the ball game. They may want to see more of him, okay? And if he does wind up starting, and we know that the Jamal Williams, who's like RB3 right now, maybe elevated RB2, isn't a factor.
No, maybe the goal line at that.
Now, again, B, I'm not suggesting you. What we're suggesting, I should say, is he's worth adding right now. If you're the Kamara owner, once you have him on roster, then we could determine as the week progresses whether to start Kendre Miller or not. It would be practically a full volume play. The Saints playing
the Buccaneers, right?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a tough, lush defense. No, they're not playing the Buccaneers. They're playing the Packers. That doesn't make it any easier.
I think Buccaneers play Sunday night.
That doesn't make it that much easier.
No, I still like McLaurin.
But again, also, and here's the other thing, B, and I'm sure that Rhino, you'll agree with me here. Even if you want to add Kendre Miller if you have Alvin Kamara, just so the guy that you're playing against doesn't add Kendre Miller at this point. You don't want to see Kendre Miller on the other side of your matchup, perhaps starting, perhaps getting 20 carries, perhaps 85, 90 yards throughout the game, and a touchdown for an RB2 or a flex. That's going to be a good game.
He's looked good coming in too. He's actually looked a little bit more explosive than Kamara.
He's younger than Kamara. This dude was drafted. When was he? Was he drafted last year or the year before? I feel like it's last season, but we're almost into
last year because he was out all season.
He was drafted.
Quentin Johnson was
drafted last season.
Okay, so it was last season, yeah.
And he was drafted, if not, I want to say no later than the 3rd round. So, I mean, he comes in with pretty decent draft capital. They need to see what they have out of this young man.
Yeah.
I don't think he has the pass catching ability like Alvin Kamara, but he may have the juice that Alvin Kamara does not have right now.
From what I remember him playing in college, he can't catch the ball.
What's up, King Sosa? How are you? Congratulations. You are in the semifinals of the Week 16 2024 Fantasy Playoffs. And you are in a bind. You're not in a bind, King Goat. It's Anthony Richardson, Kelsey, or Kendra Miller. Superflex 4-point passing.
You're not playing Kendra Miller.
4-point passing, but it's 4-point passing, but it would be 6-point rushing touchdown, correct? I'm still gonna roll with Anthony Richardson as long as that's the set. As long as that's the setting.
The upside of the passing touchdown and plus rushing touchdown.
As long as that's the setting, King Sosa. Yeah. I would still go with Anthony Richardson in the Superflex. Look, if you saw the sleeper in the league that I put up in the beginning of the show, that team actually features Anthony Richardson as QB2 with Joe Burrow. And no, he's not playing well. He's not completing passes. He's throwing interceptions. And yes, it's not optimal. But if you could get one passing touchdown and he has the rushing upside, I'm going to go there.
Yeah, same here.
I'm going to go there. You already have Kendra Miller. So that sounds like this might be, is this a dynasty league? You already have Kendra. Most playing right now have to make the decision to pick up Kendra Miller right now. But if you already have him, this is either a really deep redraft league or a dynasty. Nevertheless,
or you're just smart.
Or you're just damn smart.
Yeah, just damn smart.
Which is very possible.
You've been listening to us the last couple of weeks. Yeah, go put it up, man. We'll check it out.
No, never mind. For you? Why would we mind? How could we mind? While you're doing that, we could remind all the fine goats what we've got in store coming up. As soon as the fantasy season wraps up, as soon as the regular season of the NFL wraps up, we will continue on with our DFS and our props, pro pick'ems. We'll broadcast some live watch-alongs. Definitely for the wild card round. We'll definitely do that. NFC, AFC wild cards. Then, of course, right after the Super Bowl, at the conclusion of the Super Bowl, so I guess late February, we'll get into the NFL rookie draft process. We'll get into the fantasy dynasty rankings. And, of course, we'll keep everybody up to date with the NFL free agency tracker. Yeah, guys, just make sure that you subscribe. Put on the notifications bell, however you want me to send out a smoke signal, we could do that.
The goat signal?
The smoke goat signal.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And so Rhino, while we wait on Be Growing Goat's lineup, why don't we talk about the other players that we think that should be added to this week's rosters. Again, everybody's roster is going to be different.
Right.
We already spoke about Kendra just now.
McMillan.
Jalen McLovin. Another McLovin, a real McLovin. Jalen.
Definitely. If he's out there, get him. He's producing.
The Bucks were high on this dude, and they obviously, rightfully so. Of course, you're going to be high on your own rookie draft picks. But reports out of their training camp back in August were that he looked really good. Yep. And over the last 2 weeks, he's scored 3 touchdowns. He's getting targeted at least 5-6 targets a game, catching all of his balls. Yep. And I think, Rhino, it could be one of those cases of just like a rookie wide receiver coming on late. I mean, this happens all the time.
Just like Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy's all of a sudden getting the targets. He's coming on late too.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. But definitely get McMillan, man.
Look and look, when Chris Godwin went down, we all thought that this was going to be his opportunity. Then the little injury bug hit him, so that derailed it for a few weeks. And now that he seems to be healthy, he seems to be again getting the snaps. He's getting the targets. He's getting the catches. let me circle back to the Kendra Millers and the Tajay Spears. Are we going to start them in Week 16 for your playoff roster? I'm not suggesting that. It's a good matchup against the Cowboys. He seems to be Baker's wide receiver 2, the Bucs wide receiver 2 right now. Kate Adams really has kind of like tapered off.
A little bit, yep.
So I mean,
that. Yeah.
Look, Jalen McMillan in a 3 wide receiver league, Jalen McMillan as your wide receiver 3, it could be worse, I think.
Yeah.
It could be worse. I'm not prepared to say that he's a start until a few days from now, until this upcoming Friday when we have more research done on our ends, and when we when we're asked about Jalen McMillan versus him to start or sit, then we'll be able to maybe determine a little bit better whether or not to start him or not. But it's not bad, and it's certainly worth adding.
One more too, because we were discussing this earlier. Because I'm a Rams fan. Tyler Higbee is active and would playing this week, so if he's out there, pick him up too. He's a nice little stash for a backup tight end if you need a backup tight end, because he has chemistry with Stafford already. So, and the matchups for the next 3 weeks are favorable for him. So,
or not even let's say you don't have a backup tight end. Let's say you were in the Zach Ertz business. Let's say you've been in like the
Evan
Ingram business. Now, okay, so if you've been in the Evan Ingram business, then you'd probably want to do another one of our waiver ads. Brenton Strange. Because that young man, he seemed to have been targeted like 100 times this past Sunday. Now, again, it's Mac Jones, yes. It's the Jaguars, yes. They're playing the Raiders. I mean, this should be like okay. So we normally say that the Jaguars should be in a negative game script where they're passing a lot, and I'm not sure playing the Raiders really changes that.
Well, man, if freaking Ritter's out there playing quarterback, who shouldn't be playing quarterback in NFL, then
Why don't rate the GOATs lineup here, Rhino, and then we're gonna jump right into Justin Goat over here.
Goff, Barkley, Henry, Cup, Brian Thomas Jr. is just a complete freaking stud. Just a stud. Kamara, Laporta, Buffalo's defense, Opry.
So we're gonna rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, or do you want us 1 to GOAT, or A being fantastic, A plus being excellent championship, or certainly not going to be
championship lineup.
Certainly not going to be an F, right?
No. This is a championship lineup.
Yeah, I mean the 2 running backs that you have right there could very well just take you right home to the ship.
Yeah, with Charbonnet on the bench. Gainwell's a nice pickup.
Which is probably where he's going to stay, probably.
So if he has one open spot to pick someone up tomorrow.
I would probably go
running back.
He's got Gainwell already to back up Barkley. Yeah, I mean, do you want to go after like Jalen McMillan? Do you want to go get Jerome Ford? Jerome Ford is the other one that we have not spoken about yet. Jerome Ford steps into the starting feature running back role. So,
but that's what we thought. Before,
I don't know.
Dante Foreman at times too, and plus you got Darius Robinson, whatever.
It's true.
Quarterback, so he's gonna be sniping. He's gonna be sniping runs from the running backs too.
So like 2 times this season, Jerome Ford has reached top 12 or top 10, really.
Yeah.
For RB twice this season. The other times, before Nick Chubb returned, he was, low end, if not worse, RB2, if not worse. Last season, same deal as soon as Nick Chubb went out early in the year. He had a smash RB, top 12 RB early in the season. Then it kind of like disappeared, and he was like teetering around, RB2 or flex options. Then he spiked up again, but then he is kind of inconsistent. He's playing the Bengals this week.
Mm-hmm.
He is a passer. He is a capable pass catcher.
Very capable.
Will he get spelled by Dante Foreman? Sure. He probably will get spelled here and there, but Dante Foreman hasn't really gotten much reps this season at all. I don't see him taking on any type of prominent role. But to answer B's question, to pick up one dude, I mean, could you use another? Looks like you could use another. Nothing. No, you've got Ridley, you've got McLaurin, Cup, BTR. If anything, maybe who's not mentioned here on our top 5 to cuff Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Justice Hill.
That would be it. That would be the move, if anything. Protect your assets. God, knock on wood, B. You're playing in the match this week, this Sunday. You're winning. You've got it won. While Derrick Henry is like down. You're gonna want that. You're gonna want Justice Hill for the championship week.
Yeah.
That's the way I would look at it. That's the way I would look at it, Big Goat.
You guys, how you doing, Justin? Please like and subscribe. Quentin Johnson, Keon Coleman, Romeo Dobbs, pick one.
Jeez. I like all of them. I think Quentin Johnson's dealing with a little bit of an injury, but I don't think that's considered to be serious. Keon Coleman, led the team in targets, I believe.
Yeah, that was 64-yard catch.
Led the team in targets this week. Last week it was Amari Cooper. This week Amari Cooper disappeared. Last week Keon Coleman was nowhere to be found. I think the Bills are doing this on purpose, not to screw around with our fantasy teams, but to really screw around with like what opponents are seeing on tape.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel got into the action last week. Dalton Kincaid came back, and all of a sudden now is catching passes. So
Tyler Johnson.
Ray
Davis.
Yeah, so I think we're going to stay away from the Keon Colemans of the world. Romeo Dobbs I like too, but now that Jordan Love got Romeo into the end zone twice this week, it's like, okay, we're all waiting for Jaden Reed's turn.
Or Watson.
I like having Romeo. I do. Now, Quentin Johnson, here's what's interesting about Quentin Johnson. If he was 100% healthy, the Chargers are really, really missing a running game right now.
Yeah.
They have no running game. That's number one. B, there's really only one other wide receiver on this team that's doing anything worthwhile, and that's Ladd McConkey. So I think Quentin Johnson is relied upon, is targeted, is a first, if not a second read option. And now you've got the emergence of
playing Denver. So Quentin Johnson might be a good play.
Also Denver. All of us goats need to keep an eye out for Patrick Surtain's injury and his availability, because that will make things a lot easier for the Chargers. So right now, Justin, if I had to just pick one out of a hat right now, I would want to grab Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
Barring his health.
I go Johnson, Dobbs, and then Coleman.
Why wouldn't we? What would be wrong with Jalen McMillan here, though, Justin?
Yeah.
Goat. Jalen McMillan is a really good option right now. Again, a second read option. He's being targeted. He's playing the Cowboys. Tommy goes.
He has a Baker's trust too. So.
And he's developing.
That's everything.
They're developing a good rapport. Yeah, that's right. What happens if Mike Evans retires this season?
And Godwin's a free agent next year.
Well, what happens then? Guess what? It's a Jalen McMillan show. They want to develop this rapport now, Not in July. Now.
I don't think they'll let Godwin walk, but anyway, that's off-season talk.
Let's see. Look, and also, I mean, Godwin, he's a good football player, but your best ability is your availability. Is that how the expression goes?
Yeah.
And it's like maybe next year, maybe next season, Godwin, it's a good year. Like it seems to be every other year with Godwin. Tommy Goat. Should we pick up Brenton Strange and roll with Kraft or Kincaid?
You're fine with Kraft and Kincaid. Two good quarterbacks right there throwing the ball to him.
On one hand, you've got the
Strange would get volume, possibly.
On one hand, you've got the quarterbacks tied to those tight ends. On the other hand, you've got Mac Jones that probably can't see anywhere further than Brian Thomas Jr. or that tight end. You've got the Jacksonville Jaguars that are playing again. Jacksonville's playing the Raiders. They're playing the Raiders, so that could be a good game script. The Raiders will probably, unless they're tanking, which is a possibility as well. But I think Aiden O'Connell is going to start again, so they may just want to try to win this game.
But would you drop? I'm not going to drop Kraft or Kincaid to pick him up though either.
I wouldn't drop.
That's the thing right there.
I would roll with Kraft if I had to, and just leave Brenton Strange.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not dropping either one of them.
I think that you are okay with Tucker Kraft tied to Jordan Love. And again, I know it's not optimal because there are a lot of mouths to feed there in Green Bay.
Yeah, I think that him and Kincaid probably both get 5 to 6 targets a game. So yeah, because especially if you're going to drop one of them to pick him up, I wouldn't do it.
Let's not forget you're also talking about the tight end position in general. I know it's your favorite position. It's my least favorite position.
Not my favorite position.
It's your favorite.
No, it's not. No,
you love them. No, I know you.
Not tight end.
Just thought I'd moves to me. I get no, of course, goat. Yeah. Look, that also within itself is an advantage. If you're thinking, you might be outthinking. Don't overthink, but outthink. That's the way I would look at it. I think Justice Hill would be the move here, if anything. If you're already backing up Saquon Barkley, why not back up Derrick Henry at this point? Why not? Waiver, you're welcome. Waiver 9 and other 3 people in the playoffs have higher waiver. As in they have 8, 7, 6, or 5 as the higher priority.
People that are in your league that aren't in the playoffs should be in the waivers anyways. That's that's kind of unwritten rule.
There's nothing you could do about that.
No, it's not. But still,
if the teams, if the teams that have not made the playoffs are still adding, then there's not a damn thing you could do about that.
No.
But if he's going against the other teams that are in the playoffs, the other 3 semifinalists that have higher priority, then what you're going to do, Justin Goat, you're going to claim whoever you're going to claim, then you're going to claim the other dudes as well. So claim all 3 of them for one drop. One player who you're going to release, you're going to do a waiver claim for player A and drop that guy. Player B, drop the same guy. Player C, drop the same guy. You use one player to drop for all 3 ads. That's the way, my friend. That's the way. What else? Did we cover all of our waiver ads? We covered recovered Kendra Miller. Is it sexy? No, it's not that sexy. Recovered Jerome Ford. Is he sexy? Not that sexy, but
No.
he's sexy. To me, I would have him sexier on the sexy meter. He's sexy. He's sexier than Kendra Miller this week, just because he's playing the Bengals, and we've seen him in the starting role before, as early as this season. And we've seen him. I've seen him. I'm sure we all have seen him have big plays out of the backfield and carrying the rock. Jerome Ford's a pretty decent ad. He might be a good start too. He might be. Then Brenton Strange, again, depends on your need. If you're the guy who's been rolling with Zach Ertz, who we know is out or will be out with a concussion, Brenton Strange is a pretty decent ad.
Yeah.
He passes the goat smell test for tight ends right now. Maybe we're rolling with What about the Cade Otton guys? We were enjoying a lot of success with Cade Otton early in the season.
Yeah.
Cade Otton has disappeared. He really has. TJ Hawkinson's borderline. He's borderline. What about the dudes that have had the Jake Fergusons of the world, along with Shoemakers? I mean, there are a bunch of managers and teams that I feel have been teetering around the tight end 11, 12, 13, 14 for several weeks now, kind of playing mix and match and, matchups. And, right now, I think we have enough of a book, a 2-game sample, not wonderful. Actually, no, I take that back. Well, I know Brenton Strange played earlier in the year and didn't have a bad game. So there's a little bit. All right, so it's not a great sample, but at least there is a sample for Brenton Strange. And look, the way Mac Jones was targeting him last week, I don't think there's any reason to think that that's going to really get chopped up.
Yeah.
How about this? Pick 3 between Brian Thomas Jr., Curious George. Is Curious George coming back? Cooper Kupp, Scary Terry, Calvin Ridley, also Laporta and Njoku. Is this B-Goat? Is this the team? Yeah, this is your team that you've been rolling with, huh? Because of Saquon and King Henry and a quarterback.
I know I'm going Brian Thomas Jr. and McLaurin for sure.
There's another one, Rhino, Njoku. So if you've been in the David Njoku business, Brenton Strange could be a decent pickup for you. Pick 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But no, he's saying pick Laporta or Njoku. That's a separate question. I'm playing Laporta over Njoku. I think I'd go.
I would too.
I think I'd go Brian Thomas Jr., McLaurin. I think Kupp has a comeback this week. He ain't gonna happen again.
Breaking news.
What?
Breaking news. The Atlanta Falcons are benching Kirk Cousins. That's right. Benching Michael Penix Jr. to start. Yeah, you heard it here, goats. So, Michael Penix Jr. to start. Well, we're probably going to downgrade Drake London. We're downgrading Darnell Mooney.
John Robinson.
I guess he gets a downgrade. Because, again, we're going to start we're starting a rookie quarterback. It's not like the Atlanta Falcons are out of this thing. The Atlanta Falcons out of
no. Cousins can't get out of his own way. That's all.
They won last night, didn't they?
When Penix is telling him what he's seen on the field, Penix, a rookie, is showing a veteran what he's seen on the field. There's a problem. He lost his confidence. Period. He lost his confidence.
Wow.
He pulled Sam Darnold.
Wow. They got some sort of goat balls, those Falcons. Let me tell you, if they're going to bench this dude week 16, they've got 16, 17. They've got 3 weeks to go, and they're in the hunt for a wild card, if not the division.
Yeah, I see them in the Bucks right now.
Wow. Anyway, I'm going to go with Brian Thomas Jr., much for the same reason that I would consider Brenton Strange. They're just being uber targeted with a Jacksonville team that is generally losing ball games and not
And
really
they're playing the Raiders.
and not really running the ball. Curious George, I would want to wait on. I'd love to start him. I would, but I don't know if he's going to play. And it's probably, I know you're going to want Cup or Scary Terry here.
Well, it's 3, so 3 receivers, 1 tight end.
Well, let's say George Pickens is 100%.
Against Baltimore, I go Pickens. Well, no, I think I still go. Yeah,
I would too. Against Baltimore secondary.
There's no other receivers they're throwing to.
Let's not forget they're not playing the Giants this week. They're playing a team that is marginally better at passing.
Yeah.
Cup to rebound off of a donut. Can't see him not getting a catch in this game. At the bare minimum. At the bare minimum, Scary Terry looks great.
So yeah, I'd go Brian Thomas Jr., Pickens if healthy. If not, then Cup, and then definitely McLaurin. And then I go Laporta over Njoku.
And I would go Laporta over Njoku because Mad Max Corleone, a goat, pointed out to me that, with the absence of Montgomery, this could very well be one of those Laporta becomes an extension of this running game. You need to get him involved a little bit differently. Possibly, but I kind of like the theory. I do. Tommy Goat, how are you? Sit one, Lad, Scary, Cheetah, Evans. Well, Cheetah didn't look very good now, did he?
No, I was actually tempting to start freaking Buck Irving over him, but I said nope.
As much as I love the dude, as much as I love Lad and don't love Cheetah, I would say that we have to start Cheetah and consider him a wide receiver 3.
Mm-hmm.
Scary Terry is a start for the Commanders and Jaden Daniels.
And Evans is a start too.
And Mike Evans is a start for the Bucks. Yeah. And the sit here, Tommy Goat, is Lad McConkey. Unfortunate. And they have a tough matchup. They're playing the
Broncos.
They're playing the Broncos. Yes. Packers D or
Queens. He's a Packers fan. By Queens. That's good.
I'm not a Vikings fan either. I'm not. They kind of just like. Which game did you watch last night?
I watched them both. I was going back and forth, but I'd have a throw up bag by my side watching.
Yeah, the throw up bag. Yeah, I don't blame you there.
Because me and you were texting back and forth.
I don't blame you with the throw up bag. The Vikings are playing the Seahawks against Sam Howell, who looked like an absolute joke.
Yeah.
Now
those interceptions. He did it last year.
Now many of us are saying we should be giving him a pass, no pun intended, because he came in, for an injured Geno Smith. But I mean, what the hell is second team reps for?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's not like he just got pulled up from the damn practice squad. No.
So what those people are implying is, so with a full week this week's practice, he will be much better. Is that what you're suggesting to me?
I asses thinking that.
I don't know if I'm buying that. No. I'm not, because I think he just stinks. I do.
He can throw for a lot of yards. He can, but he can also throw for a lot of interceptions. He's like freaking Jameson Winston.
I had a newfound appreciation for Geno Smith watching Sam Howell. A newfound appreciation. So
I go Vikings.
I know you may not like it, Tommy Goat. I know you may not like it, but well, the Vikings are on the road. Yeah, you know what? The pack is home. Another rookie quarterback.
Who are they playing?
The Saints.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Going Packers.
Yeah. The pack is at home Monday night. Gonna be cold for the dome team.
Yeah, I'm going Packers too.
That's it right there. What about what's his face? Alexander, Jair Alexander coming back this season? I think he's supposed to come back.
Yeah.
My thoughts on picking up ETN, Goat?
Yeah, pick him up for the Phil for Monty. If he's out there, then yeah.
What about Jerome Ford or Kendre Miller? One of these other backs. Tajay Spears. The Jaguars are playing the string out. There's no reason for ETN to be playing football right now. They would be playing Tank Bigsby, I believe, more than they would ETN. Unless you're telling me, Tommy.
But see, ETN has the receiving upside.
Yeah. I don't really think he sees the field that much. We should let me check that. Let me see that for a second.
No, I like ETN for Phil for Monty.
Let me see that for a quick sec. If I can maybe figure this out.
Bigsby gets more of the rushing touches, and ETN gets the passing.
Hold on. ETN. Travis. Did play 73% of the snaps against the Jets. 14 carries, 65 yards. Ugh.
How many catches? How many receiving yards?
20 receiving yards on 4 catches.
So 85 yards.
Wasn't a terrible, not a terrible game. No. Not a terrible game.
He's a good pickup to have.
Not a terrible game. I stand somewhat corrected. To fill in for Monty.
Yeah.
So that means that you'd start Travis Etienne. I'm not sure if I want to start Etienne.
Or just a fill in as a bench. The bench.
I mean, so you know if there's somebody else that Tommy has on the bench that would be elevated into the Monty spot, and then ETN is now taking up that player spot, then yeah, okay, I could buy that.
That's how I get it.
I could certainly buy that, but ETN coming in to where Monty was, that's tough.
But then again, you're playing the Raiders. They're playing the Raiders.
No, I know they are. I get that. It's not a bad play. I'd love to know who the other player is, perhaps that would be elevated.
Yeah.
If ETN is available and he's about to pick up ETN to fill in for Monty, and if somebody else is going to come off the bench and to start for Monty,
yeah,
I'd love to know who that guy is. I'm not a fan of Kendre Miller. I don't blame you. I don't blame you for not being a fan of any of these guys.
Well, and especially in case you got Spencer Rattler as a quarterback, they're going to be loading the box up and daring them to pass the ball.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
He's going to be running against an 8 to 10 man box. So yeah, I could see.
I'd rather leave him on the line for someone else. I don't blame you here. I don't blame you here one bit. The only case that we could make right now is the fact of him getting full volume. Doesn't mean that it's good volume. It just means that I doubt that we see Jamal Williams taking on anywhere of a significant snap share from Kendra Miller if it is in fact Kendra Miller starting and Alvin Kamara is out.
But I see Jamal Williams getting the goal line.
Again, it's like Dante Foreman. He hasn't played, or he really has not played all year. I don't know what kind of shape that he's in. Same thing for Dante Foreman. I don't know I don't know what these guys are, if they're ready, quote unquote ready. We're not talking about good teams either. We're not. Tajay Spears, I'm not in love with that. I'm not. Again, there's a reason why all these players are available. They're not even on the teams for the managers that aren't in the playoffs. They're not even on those teams. And these are just the dudes that are available. And we're not finding that there's no other diamond in the rough right now. There's no breakout wide receiver that's going to come save the day. There's no Jalen Polk in New England or Javon Baker for the Patriots. None of that. I don't care. They could score this week. No one's starting them this week or next week. It's the cupboard. It's the cupboard. It's just the way it is. We will be with you all week, practically all week. We'll be back. We'll be back
Friday.
We'll be back on Friday. We do have games on Saturday, correct?
Yep. Yes, we have the 1:30 game.
But they're on Saturday, right?
just one game this Saturday. Next Saturday, there's 3 games.
I think there's. Are you sure there's one game? Oh, Rhino. Sometimes you have to get fact checked. Like, why would they put one game?
It might be 2. It might be a 10 o'clock game and a 1:30 game. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a 10 o'clock game and a 1:30 game.
Come on, this is the NFL. They don't see black. They don't see white. They only see green grass. So we got 2 games on Saturday. That means we're going to be on Friday regardless, but we will be ready for you this Friday, 7 o'clock. Go 7. Ray or Calvin? Well, Mr. Bake Goat. We just got the news, right? Michael Penix Jr. is going to be starting. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to want to start Ray McLeod.
I'm playing Ridley.
Do you get return yards in your league? That's the only way I would start Ray, right? Like the Sniper Mel does. She has return yardage leagues. Appreciate you, B Glowing.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, bakes a lot of goats. It's the Falcons wide receiver number 3 or the Titans wide receiver 1.
Number 1, right? So go number 1. And Mason Rudolph, we'll get the ball to him. We know that he can throw the ball.
I think that's the way I would rationalize it. Like as nice of play that we have gotten from Ray McLeod, both in the return game and in the receiving game. Excuse me. I'd still probably go with the Titans wide receiver 1.
And they might end up putting like Carnell Hodgin because he has chemistry with Penix. So that happens sometimes. We're that stuff like that. Pickens plays Sunday and we go in Brenton Strange or Firemouth is getting touchdowns right now. But Strange.
I think your butt was about to be, but that was without George Pickens.
Yeah.
If Pickens plays, does that mean Pat Freiermuth now receives the same amount of targets? And does that mean that he still receives the same amount of touchdown equity? I don't think so. I don't think so.
You're going to get more volume with Strange than you are going Freiermuth.
You're going to get more pass volume, we believe, out of Brenton Strange right now, where on the other side of the coin, Pat Freiermuth is totally touchdown dependent, especially especially if George Pickens plays.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yep. Yeah, so I go Strange.
But yet, I know. I mean, I get why he's asking. Also, Pat Fryermuth has been playing good. Pat Fryermuth, they are playing the Ravens. How do the Ravens? I know the Ravens are a pass funnel. I get that part, but I'd be curious to know how they fare against
the middle of the pack.
How they fare against the tight end.
Yeah,
specifically
middle of the pack.
Specifically the tight end. They're probably the middle of the pack. We know they're below the middle in terms of like just overall like passing offense. They're probably still dead last. But against the tight end, they're probably a little bit better, but not great. This is a divisional game. Could be, maybe
it's always a beat up game. I mean, it's never high scoring between Steelers and Ravens either.
I know the Ravens haven't beaten the Steelers in a while, or Lamar hasn't fared well against the Steelers in the last few years. We know that. I would go. I would go with Brenton Strange, climate control, playing the Raiders.
Yep.
Mac Jones can't only throw to Brian Thomas Jr.
There'd probably be less pressure on the quarterback too, because Max Crosby is out.
Mad Max. Where is Mad Max? The other Mad Max. Yo, Mr. Magic Goat. Yo. What up, Mr. Magic Goat? You still here, baby? You still here? When are we going to hoist that trophy? Set the date. Set the date. We want photos.
Yeah.
We want photos of the 2024 trophy put up into the case, the trophy case. That's what we want.
We'll put up on the screen when we do.
That's
we'll do a special show dedicated to all the GOAT champs.
So I'm not quite sure that you could attach photos into the YouTube chat. However, you could always DM one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get the photo, then we could kind of load the photos here.
Or email it to us too.
On our end. Here's the handles. Guys can always contact us, by the way. There's no spam. If you're gonna send naked pictures, I mean, I prefer brunette. No, that's a lie. It really doesn't matter what color hair. I'm good with 5'4", 105 pounds, something along those lines.
Here we go. I got one last question here. If Kamara Walker don't go, which two? Keenan, Devontae, or Sharp?
So this is the flex because we just
went. Walker doesn't go. You're going Sharp. I go probably go.
There's no way. There's no way I would trust Keenan Allen right now.
No,
I'm sorry.
Devontae.
I don't know what Keenan Allen did last night. That's not where my attention was. My attention was in Atlanta. But I would not trust Keenan Allen and that Chicago Bears offense.
I trust Devontae Smith and Charbonnet.
If Kamara and Walker don't go, so let's say both of them ruled out. We know the easy substitution is Zach Charbonnet to Walker, and then
I go Devontae over.
It would be if Kamara is out, which we think he's going to be out. I would play Devontae Smith. I wouldn't have a problem with that. AJ Brown may miss this week, folks, goats. AJ Brown has what they consider to be a low ankle, not a high ankle. It's a low ankle now. Devontae Smith absolutely lights up stadiums when AJ Brown does not play.
Yes, he does. All right.
And let Magic go. Also, don't be afraid to, add somebody that's available. Take a look at your bench. take a look at. I'm not playing this guy. I'm not going to play this guy this week. And if I'm not playing him this week, I'm not playing him next week when I play for the championship. I might be able to use a Jalen McMillan, or maybe I add. If you have Kamara, maybe you add Kendrick Miller. Again, I think I would still start Devontae Smith over Kendrick.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to add these guys. Yeah, Kendrick, look, we were talking about it a little earlier. He comes in with about third-round draft capital last season. He hasn't really played. He has some explosiveness. He has speed. He got into Dennis Allen's doghouse. He's probably good. The problem is the Saints aren't good. And I don't know if he's a good pass catcher.
Yeah.
What we do know is if Kamara doesn't play, he'll get solid work this week. That's what we do know.
How far it goes to solid work, we don't know.
Against the tough Packers team. Against the tough Packers team, Goats. All right, Rhino. We will be back. We will be back this week. Later on this week, we will be. We will be here for you, Goats. Who can even trust on the team against the Packers, too? No, right. I mean, like Spencer Rattler's going to start.
Maybe Jerome Jennings, maybe.
Spencer Rattler's going to start again. Yeah. Carr's not. You've got no wide receivers.
None. Yeah, 500 tight ends. So
the situation isn't optimal for Kendrick Miller. We're just talking about a guy that happens to be one of the better options amongst
the waivers,
the rest of the free agency pool. That's right. That's right, Goats.
All right, should we call it a night?
We could definitely call it a night because we will be back this Friday, 7 p.m. Join us for the lineup advice. It's week 16. It's the 75.
And let's look for the DFS week 16 show 2.
We will upload the our DFS video. Should be available on Friday.
Yep.
And guys, we really appreciate
you
you coming in. Absolutely. We're going to keep doing this for you this season, the off season, and right into the 2025 fantasy football season.
Exactly.
Proud of all you Goats. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Rhino.
All right, brother.
Good stuff.